All right, a lot going on as far as a free agent pitcher off of the board. First, it was Blake Snell. Now it is Corbin Burnes. And I tell you what, boys, the rotation for the Arizona Diamondbacks just got a whole heck of a lot better. And it was good to begin with. Kratzy, what do you make of this kind of a surprise 6-year, $210 million signing for the Snakes?
Kind of a surprise. I mean, I think it kind of surprised Corbin. What I've been reading, 3 to 4 days it took to get this deal taken care of. I mean, you heard about all the players in it that were in on it. You know, the Red Sox were in on him, but 210, my guy got 6 years. I thought the money would be higher. I thought the years would be longer just to kind of spread out that AAV, but hey, he got paid. He's going to be close to where he's living at. New dad, new contract. I love it for him. And that rotation, they're not afraid. They're not afraid of your Dodgers. I mean, you start sitting there, you go, you can't say Jordan Montgomery's going to have the same year he had last year. To me, he's got to bounce back. So they're six deep. I think Ryan Nelson, I think his ceiling is where it's at. But you sit there and you go, I always feel like Zach Gallen's a Cy Young candidate. And you have Corbin Burnes in there who has a Cy Young and is a Cy Young candidate every year.
I wish we can go back a couple weeks ago when Kratz said he's going to be a San Francisco Giant, pretty much guaranteed he was going to be a Giant, and he did. Thank you. I appreciate that. New Year's resolutions, no more guarantees until it's final. Anyway, It was a pretty good bet by him, but seeing this, they have a good problem now. They have a great problem. We talk about rotational pieces. We talk about how there's not many starting pitchers that can go deep. All these guys can go 6+ innings if needed. And they have a really good problem here. They have a ton of starting pitching, and they can mix and match wherever they want. This is a huge pickup for them. And I think this is just, the start of something good for the Diamondbacks again. Last year, they didn't make it. It came down to the end, but this is unbelievable. This is a great pickup. He saved some money. He's in Arizona. No daylight saving time over there either. I know I just threw that in there, but this is really, really fun rotation, and it's a really, really great pickup for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
And daylight savings time. Frage, does this make the Arizona Diamondbacks have the best starting rotation in the division?
I think right now it does, because the Dodgers, we don't know what they're going to do next. They're still, Rocky's still out there. There's still plenty of, action that could be made. The Dodgers are always going to be really good. On paper right now, if you're looking from top to bottom with the health and with everybody that both teams have, I think the Diamondbacks do have the best rotation.
Here's my New Year's resolution, to make sure Todd knows when he says something that's completely incorrect. Oh, no, they're not the best.
Did you not guarantee that? Did you not guarantee he was going to San Francisco, or are they not the best rotation in the division? Oh, okay.
No, I definitely guaranteed that he was going to San Francisco. But I don't think anybody saw him going to the Diamondbacks. They're still the second best starting rotation. Both rotations, everyone's going to say, if they stay healthy. But the Dodgers have so much depth. I get it. They haven't re-signed Kershaw yet. And I get it. Kershaw is going to make 15 to 20 starts. That's okay. They have like 8 guys. And don't forget, the dude that hit 50 dingers last year for him, he's going to be throwing 97 to 100 off the mound. So I still think it's a Dodgers rotation.
All right, fair enough. I'm going to plead the fifth on this one because Erik always calls me a homer, and we don't know where Roki Sasaki is going to end up. So, I mean, all right. Do you look at this, though, as perhaps a buffer for the Arizona Diamondbacks in terms of not 2025, but 2026 and beyond? Because both Merrill Kelly and Zach Gallen are in a walk year. So perhaps if both of those guys hit free agency, which they have every right to do so, they know that they have Corbin Burnes for the long term. So maybe they're looking ahead past 2025. Frage, does that enter into the equation at all?
100% it does, without a doubt. I think, you think about this. These guys that run these organizations, they're businessmen at one, too. They want to save as much money as possible, but they also want some of the best players. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. But at the same time, if they're not thinking to the future as well, then they have a problem. So having him, I know he can opt out in 26. So they're going to have he's going to have at least 2 years with the Diamondbacks after the year 26. So, yeah, I think they've definitely thought about this. And it's just one of those things where, I hate to look in the future, but, think Zach or Merrill, you think they keep one of those guys, I think they'll be sitting pretty too as well. So you definitely need to look into the future. I mean, now, of course, is they want to win to get back in the playoffs and do some damage. But, if they're not looking in the future as well, then what the heck are they, running a business for?
So Mike B says, D-backs, baby. Hopefully we get Roki also. What is the likelihood that Roki Sasaki ends up in Arizona? Now, there's a lot of teams, obviously, in the mix. Every team can be at a $12 million price point. A lot of people think Los Angeles. A lot of people think San Diego because of the Japanese pitching ties in both of those places. Eric, does he go to the NL West at all? And are the Diamondbacks contenders?
Contenders, I don't even know how to answer that, because technically everybody's supposed to be a contender except for the Phillies, who didn't even get a sit down, which is funny to me. So you sit there and you go, is he going to be in the West? Like, if you told me, you have to choose a division, has to be in the West. Diamondbacks are intriguing to me because what I look at, if I'm Roki Sasaki, I'm looking at their development, their pitching development. Who has had success when, maybe they were kind of an unknown, and who was a superstar and has success? Zach Gallen came over there, has done awesome. Merrill Kelly came from, I think, Korea, but it might have been Japan. He has done really well. Brandon Pfaadt's come through. You sit there and you go, okay, Brent Strom is a guy that could really express to a pitcher coming to the States, hey, this is what we can do and to help you. Maybe that would help it. I still think the deal's already done. Like, let's just be honest. It's a predetermined deal, but hey, we'll dance around till I think January 15th and talk about teams that have a chance.
Yeah, apparently neither the Phillies nor the Red Sox received a sit down, so it doesn't appear that Roki Sasaki will be going to either of those two places. Circling back to Corbin Burnes for just a second, Todd, if you look at what Bob Nightingale was reporting, supposedly Corbin Burnes was offered more money by Eric's San Francisco Giants and the Blue Jays, but big tax difference in Arizona. So think of this as a person first, player second. How much of a decision was it for Corbin Burnes to go to Arizona based on the tax implications, based on the fact that he lives there in the offseason, based on the fact that his wife just had twins, and he was flying back to Arizona quite often from Baltimore when he was a member of the Orioles? How much do you think that plays into it?
100%. Again, I said it before. When I don't know if it's just me, I always write pros and cons of everything when it's in any situation. Now, it's a situation where an organization wants you, I would say, all right, say it's Arizona and San Fran. What are the pros and cons of each? Well, I just had twins. I'm in Arizona. What does my wife think? You have to put in consideration every little thing. I mean, even to the point where I would think, hey, are my parents going to be able to see me play? What's closer? Yeah, and money plays a part. People, guess what? It's your free agent year. You want to make as much money as possible, and you want to save as much money as possible. Again, if the Giants were the only team, and maybe it was the Giants and one other team that he was all aboard on, then you break down those pros and cons. But everything takes place. He is, first off, he's been financially stable, but now he's even more, and he can relax. Now there's the comfort of knowing, like, hey, I'm right where I need to be. This place is where I'm at. It's where I'm at in the off season, and now I get to relax and go play this wonderful game of baseball. And yeah, everything comes into part when it comes to free agency.
And I want to make it clear that the San Francisco Giants didn't officially say, hey, we gave Corbin Burnes, $211 million for 7 years or whatever it was. But there's speculation out there that the Giants were among teams to give him more than what the Arizona Diamondbacks did. Let me ask you this, Eric. If you look at Corbin Burnes through the numbers over the course of the last 4 seasons, you had mentioned he already has a Cy Young award to his credit. What are the Diamondbacks getting in this version of Corbin Burnes?
A workhorse. I think he showed last year that I guess he's the only person that can officially say it, but if you watched him last year, he was going for those innings. He wanted those innings. He wanted to be out there. If you watched his outings, it wasn't the same attacking guys for the strikeout like he had when he was in Milwaukee, when he was when he was racking up double-digit strikeouts game in and game out. He went out there and gave 200 innings. So you see a guy that was maybe when the year he won the Cy Young, his innings were a little bit down. Maybe that was a product of being in Milwaukee, maybe not. But this year he said, you know what? I'll eliminate a few of my strikeouts, still almost averaging 1 strikeout an inning, but I'll get a ton of innings. And he did that. So they're getting a workhorse who's versatile and can step right in to be the number 1 in that rotation.